Willie Loomis never really had that much to do on a show, and I was a quick learn. So I went in solid as a rock every day and watched everybody else fall apart or do whatever they sweat. Poor Barnabas. Oh my God. You know, page after page of dialogue and whatnot. And, you know, God bless him that he handled it over the years. And I was in a wonderful position of just, you know, enjoying myself, being able to be a flake on the set, having fun with everybody, and not breaking into a sweat, and only doing the show probably once or twice a week. You know, that was Willie's part. I wasn't on it every day. So for Willie Loomis, piece of cake, piece of cake. There were certain people, God bless Joan Bennett, beautiful Joan Bennett, you know, who you would admire from a past movie, a Spencer Tracy movie or whatever the hell it was that she did. And her determination and her concentration to be there in the moment and to get through it. That was the whole thing, that you would think people were about to completely fall apart, but they didn't. They kept on going, and they kept it up, and they did it. Now, you're not talking ordinary dialogue. They were crazy things to be said on a show like this. So it wasn't like something fella says, "How are you today?" "I'm fine." No, it wasn't like that. There's a big bad wolf out there, and he's got hair all over him. So this, you know, the dialogue was tough. You couldn't pick it up from a line. You know, good old soap opera dialogue, you'd pick up the next line. Not here. It went into no man's land. Lots of explosions, bombs going off. And Barnabas led the charge into hell, into nowhere. Oh, Jonathan, God bless him. He was a warrior. He was great. He was wonderful. He was there. The man had so many lines. I would not like to be under the gun of what he had to do. I mean, the truth of the matter is, after Dark Shadows, I went to see Jonathan Frid in Arsenic and Old Lace. He was so letter perfect. He was so sure. He amazed me. Because you see somebody in a soap opera all these years where you've just learned 1,000 lines the night before. Difficult stuff. But he got through it. I would look at the cast list of the day and see how many pretty girls were on the show. And if Alexandra Bolke was there that day, Laura Parker and Josette, good God, what's her name? Catherine Lee Scott was there. It was a good day. Flirt with these girls, have fun, have coffee. Now, everybody else may be in the corner learning their lines. My lines are learned. I've got them down, and I'm having a good time. I'm taking Alexandra Moltke to the Queen Mary or the Queen Elizabeth for not lunch, but just to walk down. We're on close to 10th Avenue. You've got a few blocks to walk to go to the Queen Mary. Great time. Great panic for other people? I suppose so, but that wasn't for me to look at them and see their panic. If it was there, it was there, you know. But I was fortunate. I was lucky to have the part that I had, which was not overwhelming in lines, very emotional, and not to have the worries that somebody who was carrying the show that day had. I did not carry the show. I didn't care. I didn't care if the ratings were going up or going down. I was there for a minute in time to do a show, to make a paycheck. You know, if the ratings went up, the ratings went down. It was hard to justify what you were doing as an actor. It was fun, but to care about Dark Shadows being a hit or not being a hit, Jonathan came on. I didn't even know what the hell the ratings was before he came on. All I know is that we were going to run. But you got to remember, I left this show for years at a time. I wasn't there for 9 months. I wasn't there for 3 months. I never had a contract with Dan Curtis. We had a handshake, which was pretty damn good. So I would come and go and come and go. So I was not the regular participant on the show that was there all the time. And as far as the phenomena, there was no phenomena. I don't think people noticed it. I don't think people cared. I think everybody was looking for a different job. This was a moment in time that you were stopping to collect a paycheck, do a little stuff like this, but this, who can think of this as a career? Or, geez, I hope the show runs. No way. No. People who would run up to me on the street, and I suppose this was my first taste of fame as far as being recognized. I can remember people, listen to this, like Muhammad Ali recognizing me on the street. pointing a finger at me as I walked past. And the only reason he would ever point the finger at me is that I was on Dark Shadows, you know. So all that kind of stuff. And now I will run into people. I ran into Lyle Lovett. This guy, when we did the same, I was playing Helen Hunt's father on Mad About You. He saw me on the show. He said, Willie Loomis. He couldn't believe it. He was in shock almost, you know. And I gave him a cigar. He says, can I keep this cigar? I mean, he was gentle. He was obviously a boy of 10 or 11 years old, would come running home and watch Dark Shadows. So those are little perks, little fun things that happen. But, you know, and you get it all the time as far as some, you know, of the other television shows or the other series or that have won an Emmy. Nobody cares about that.